Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you guys like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Please and thank you very much. Now, today we are going to be discussing another TV show review, and it is my newest favorite show. It is called Our Kind of People on Fox. It is season 1, episode 4, and it was titled Crabs in a Gold-Plated Barrel. Now, if you guys haven't checked out this new series, I do highly recommend it. Again, it's on Fox TV. It just started, so you're only 4 episodes behind. Matter of fact, the 5th episode came on last night, and we're going to review that tomorrow. But you're not really that far behind, so go ahead and check it out. Give it a watch. Watch a couple of episodes, and let me know what you think about it. But for those of you who are already enjoying the show, please also let me know how you feel about this particular episode and the storylines, and make sure you put your comment down in the comment section. Now, the show had opened up with Angela still at the Still Bay State Prison, visiting her daughter's father. Nikki's father was noticeably upset that Angela had waited so long to want him to be a part of their daughter's life. 17 long years had passed with Nikki not even knowing if her father even existed. Nevertheless, since Nikki has been going through a lot, including getting into some trouble after her grandmother had died, Angela feels it is now time. Yet, even in this episode, it's still not clear why her father went to jail in the first place, nor why Angela made the decision to keep him a secret from her daughter. On top of that, trying to figure out the best way to merge Nikki's father into her life, Angela is trying not to get too distracted by the social media, or should we say the black social media, which they most likely were referring to the black Twitter. Y'all know Black Twitter can be extremely harsh at times, but distractions are not what she needs right now, with her trying to get ready and get prepared for her big grand opening. However, once Angela was back home from the prison, her flamboyant gay brother made a dramatic appearance, as well as almost immediately making sure that Angela knew that her name was all over Black social media. And I can see right now that I'm going to love me some Uncle Tizzy. I can see it already. He is such a character, such a character. Tizzy is not only there to support Angela, but also as the mistress of ceremony at her grand opening. Besides that, it is so much that needs to be done that Angela is not, again, trying to get distracted from Black social media. In this case, though, thankfully, Tizzy is much more into social media than she is, because it took him showing her that viral video that made her look like a gold digger to the world. Later, Angela had another meeting at Franklin Holdings where she was met with a little bit of shade, from that lady, Renata Pride, one of the other candidates. She was trying to imply that Angela was only there because of who her sister is and who her father is. Also, as you would expect, Leah has something smart and underhanded to say as well. Leah couldn't help but remind her sister that nothing is going to come easy for her or be handed to her. That incubator program at Franklin Holdings is very competitive and not for the amateurs or the weak at heart. Therefore, Angela, she must really come with her A game and show and prove that she is the candidate that should be chosen for that program. Her grand opening is coming this weekend, but even so, she still needs to make sure that her presentation, that she holds that just as importantly as her grand opening. So in response to Leah, Angela, again, as always, showing herself and her product, told Leah that she is determined to secure the bag. Had she had known that Leah was recording her, though, I'm sure she might have chosen her words differently. Despite that, thankfully the video didn't do too much damage to her reputation. Still yet, she rushed right on over to Leah's home, confronting her about trying to sabotage her career. Angela then told her sister, "You're like a little crab in a gold-plated barrel," aka, a crab in a bucket. You know how them crabs is in that bucket. They always trying to pull down the crab that they see getting a little further up the bucket. But upon hearing that, Leah responded to her saying, "I'm not really mad at you." She does, however, blame Angela's mother for playing a part in her own mother, losing her already fragile mind. As far as her feeling for Angela is concerned, again, she claims that she's not mad at her. Instead, she's actually ashamed of Angela and what their father did to the both of them. And in view of this, back to her father, or should I say back to their father, Teddy, now being perceived as a deadbeat daddy, was worried about bad PR that he has been receiving. He still hasn't quite secured a deal with the Boston Pride Stadium, so he demanded that Leah finds a way to deal, or should we say control her sister, telling her, "You can't get a Roxbury girl under control." Then at dinner with the team execs, at least I believe that's who they were, Teddy and Leah were encountered by some negative feedback from Bradley Clark. Now, this Bradley Clark is a whole character, but to me, it seemed like he represented those white people as a whole. But yeah, he didn't waste no time letting them know that it might be an issue. It might be a situation with the stadium. You see, Teddy, he wants to name the stadium after his brother, who evidently was not only a community activist, but also a Black Panther. Now, Bradley and the others, they were willing to overlook Teddy's infidelity, which resulted in a child outside of his marriage, but foregoing millions of dollars in sponsorship just to name the stadium after his brother? They weren't having that. Even if his businesses are outperforming the other owners, the brands who endorse the team are concerned, leading to Bradley and the others looking for other buyers. As far as Leah, the sponsors might be the least of her worries. During this episode, we saw her and Raymond at a counseling session, and according to Raymond, her father in law is the root cause of most of their problems. Even during this session, Leah had to step out to take a call from her father. In fact, Raymond also mentioned that because of her father, their marriage is in jeopardy. Now, I don't know what he expects from his wife. She already tried to force her father out in retirement, by threatening to reveal his shady business dealings. Had Teddy not been using Raymond's company as a shell company, it might have worked, but it didn't. And after all, Raymond, he believes that all of their problems started when her father took over Darman. Or was it when Raymond's partner started making all those bad business deals? Now, of course, that still doesn't excuse Teddy for being an ass to his son in law by not allowing Raymond a fair chance to regain his business back. But on the subject of Darman, Raymond met up with Hank to secure some money to invest in Trix Burgers, which is a black owned business. His plan is to have his company, Darman Foods, to manufacture a new line of branded meals that Trix is debuting. But since Raymond no longer has control of his company, he needs an influx of cash to buy his company back from Teddy. That is where Hank comes in. And it sounded so easy enough to provide Hank with a copy of the projected earning report, except that when Raymond made a call to get a copy, it could not be done. Come to find out, he's been locked out of the books at Darman, and we all can guess who's behind that. So it sounds like him and Leah might be needing a lot more counseling than what they have been receiving. And was he threatening his wife with a divorce? Telling her she needs to determine which partner she wants to be standing next to. I don't know how long those two will be together, whether partners or as couples. And on top of that, Raymond still has no idea that Teddy has been using his company as a shell company, which is the main reason why he refuses to let go of it. Teddy is using that company as leverage, as collateral. But once Leah realized what her father was doing with her husband's company, should she have told Raymond? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. She did request her father to refrain from doing it, from using his company that way, right before he hit her with his diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, which I assume that's what it was. When I had seen him, like the last episode, really shaking and stuff, I figured, yeah, he has Parkinson's disease. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Now, Leah has been keeping secrets from her husband, who is also keeping something from her. Raymond had met up with his ex-wife to have her find some dirt on Teddy because he just knows that his father-in-law is corrupt. So that's why he was really short on the phone with Leah, because he didn't want her to know that he was meeting up or hooking up with his ex. Now, is it just business? Or will it turn out to be business and a little pleasure? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's a really loyal husband. We don't know that yet. But moving right along. At first, Nikki, Angela's daughter, she didn't want to be the face of the company, of their brand, because she was fearing being, bullied on social media. You know how it is when you just out there, whether you a YouTuber or you have a product that you're selling. Sometimes the backlash can be really, really cruel and critical, especially if you're just dealing with some haters. So she told her mother that she wasn't interested in being the face of the company anymore. But thankfully, to her Uncle Tizzy, who I told y'all I love already, he was able to give her some supportive words of encouragement to make her rethink her decision. And following that, she announced herself as the face of Eve Crown at the grand opening, because I think she was mainly just keeping her grandmother in mind. She's like, okay, if I have to deal with criticism sometime, a little bullying sometime, she does want to help keep her grandmother's name alive. So she chosen to step in her grandmother's shoes to continue the Vaughn women legacy. Angela, of course, was ecstatic. She was excited to hear that and to see everybody genuinely enjoying themselves at her grand opening party. Even her sister Leah and her niece Lauren was dancing and partying up. I was surprised myself. I was like, it's because I just knew that Leah might have had something to say when she saw all those gay people come dancing in there, strutting in there with their big hair, big makeup, And I didn't know if they were transgenders or if they were just cross dressers, just dressing up in costume or not. But I still was surprised that Leah didn't have something negative to say about that. But yeah, her and her daughter Lauren, they was partying up, they was having a good time. But what did y'all think about the scene with Tyreek? Earlier in the show, when he was working on Angela's house, she had told him that she didn't want him to get mixed up all in her family issues. And already pretty sure that she is a solid woman, he still had to ask her, was there something that she wants from the Franklins? Since that is what everyone has been assuming all along. But he was going to honor her wishes, by giving her all the space she needs. He didn't want to, but he was still going to honor her wishes. But then, after telling her that, he decided to show up at the party to give her a gift. And I took that as if he probably would have not felt right not to show up to support her, being that they have been really hanging out and going out on dates, and they both really, really like each other. Plus, he also wanted to tell her that he is still very much interested in being with her. He knows that she wanted some space, but he don't want no space. As a matter of fact, this episode, Tyreek, who had mentioned to her father before that he thinks Angela is a truly good person, he removed the security cameras that he had installed, for her father to spy on her. And the excuse he made for removing them was that there was a recall on that particular brand. But from doing that, I hope that he doesn't suffer any severe consequences from Teddy or from Leah. Because earlier in the show, while playing tennis with Leah, she implied that he does not want to make their family question his loyalty. So I don't know what he might face from removing the cameras to spy on her, but for now, she feels the same way that he does. Angela, who had before told him that she needed some space, suddenly has made enough room for him. And while they were sharing a kiss outside, her daughter Nikki and Taylor was also sharing a kiss at the party. It seems to me as if Taylor just might be confused about who she wants to be with, though. Because earlier when she was at Nikki's house, they almost shared a kiss then as well, if it wasn't for them being interrupted by Lauren interrupting them. Lauren saw it too. She saw enough to know that there was some chemistry between Nikki and Taylor. So was that why she changed her mind? Was that the reason behind that? Her now wanting to go public with their relationship, make it official, come out the closet? Or is it too late? Because again, I think Taylor is confused. She did tell Lauren that if they were to be together, then she would have to be a lot nicer, like Nikki. That right there is not a good sign. Why not? Y'all already know. It's never a good thing to expect your mate to be more like someone else. Can I get an amen? But that is all I got from this episode. Again, we are on season 1, episode 4 of Our Kind of People, and the title of the show was Crabs in a Gold-Plated Barrel. And make sure you guys again like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Please and thank you very much. And also, again, we are one episode behind, or should I say, I am. So tomorrow evening, I'm going to make sure that I review that episode, and I still have to review the current or the newest episode of Queen Sugar, and also BMF, Black Mafia Family. So if y'all aren't caught up either, please get caught up so you can review those episodes with me. And on that note, everybody, as usual, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and not only look after yourself, but look on someone else. Bye.